Sa! Kakegurui deku! Being an anime fan can have its benefits and very, very apparent downfalls. On one hand, you get epic fights and amazing animations and scenes. And on the other hand, you just get absolutely cooked by how some of this trash videos and fan bases can be sometimes, bro. Because these anime trends genuinely are some of the most cooked forms of media I've ever seen. So in this video, we're gonna look at some of the most cooked anime trends. Sub if you haven't already. Shout out to Nenjuno for the idea. Alright, so if you're familiar with Jujutsu Kaisen, there's something very interesting about the fan base when a new season comes out. Because I have no idea what happens, but we all come together and agree to discard our brain cells. Because we decide to produce something called Lobotomy Kaisen. Now, if you don't know what lobotomy means, it basically was a surgery that people used to do to cure things like depression, which literally meant opening someone up and removing things from their brain. And, as you know, this would actually make you not think straight, so they stopped doing it. But it's called Lobotomy Kaisen because for some reason the community decided to start posting some straight, just random stuff. Enter John Kaisen. This random guy who was on for a couple frames during the Jujutsu Zero movie suddenly became the most overpowered character in the verse overnight. I kid you not, John Kaisen was said to be so powerful that he was written out of the story. Said to be the one that could easily beat Sukuna. Said to be so strong, having access to both the two eyes and the limited. I'm not gonna lie, in this one action scene that he got, he was going crazy. But guys, who is this guy? Like, genuinely, who is this? I'm gonna sit here and act like this guy is the main character of the whole series just because of a couple frames and one joke, bruh. But that's not it, because after John Kaisen, people started to make spin-offs of other characters. Thus, we got the birth of John Zenin, said to be the guy in the background of every single Jujutsu Kaisen scene, and known as the Observer because he's only ever seen in like one scene when Maki destroys the Zenin clan. Like, who is this, bro? Who is Bro Chacho? Then we got John Jujitsu, the one guy who just aura farmed when about to fight Maki, and of course he just lost instantly. But the joke of the community is that all these characters are secretly overpowered, but for one reason or another have been written out of the storyline. And of course, the most egregious example, John Rabbit. I kid you not, this rabbit hit like one shot on Toji, and that was where he became a meme. What are we genuinely doing in this com, bro? And then we got people saying John Free-for-All, debating which character would actually win. Now, in my opinion, John Kaisen is absolutely dog-walking all of them, but anyway. If you thought this was crazy, just don't mention the Gojo figure incident to any Jujutsu Kaisen fan who has the ball knowledge available. Because this community's obsession with this Kakashi clone Gojo has to be one of the wildest things on the internet. Because I'm telling you, somebody got a Gojo figure and put their special blood on it. And when this hit TikTok back in 2023, it was outrageous. And genuinely, this community scares me sometimes, bruh. Because the lengths people are willing to go to is absolutely outrageous. There is no need to be doing all that. Next, we got one of the absolute worst allegations you can get in the anime community. LARPing. Now, if you don't know what LARPing is, it's basically pretending to know about something or pretending to be interested in something to seem cultured and to impress people. And essentially, these LARPers will go out of their way and talk about subjects, except they know nothing about it. I'm not gonna lie, it's one of the most cringe feelings ever when you know about something and you can clearly tell that somebody's just making things up, bruh. And they're just LARPing to act like they're part of the com, but they're not. But in the anime community, people are just throwing this word at absolutely anyone with the title The Boy Who LARPed. Because oh my goodness, if you slip up or make one slight mistake with any of these comms, you're gonna get dog walked. If you don't believe me, take a look at the Imiru clip.
What's her name, Renee? What's her name, Renee?
Renee.
Rosé.
My fit. I did the makeup and the contacts, but it's
Who are you?
backwards.
Who are you? Say who you are.
Asa.
Asa.
I'm Asa from Chainsaw Man.
She pretty much says she's the wrong character from Chainsaw Man, and she and everybody else in that clip proceeded to get absolutely cooked on Twitter and cooked on TikTok, with everybody saying holy LARP. And I'm pretty sure a lot of these people actually do end up watching the anime, but you make one mistake and you're actually donezo. I'll take, for example, Mr. Beast tweeting out the fact that he wants to watch One Piece on Twitter. Absolute genuine GG's, bro. Because the comment section proceeded to absolutely dunk on him like that one photo of Venom dunking on Spider-Man. Because they all said bro doesn't actually actually like anime. He's just watching One Piece for the fandom. He's just watching it for the popularity. He's just watching it because anime just became popular. Like, genuinely, you cannot be liking anime and making any mistake online, bro. And arguably the #1 guy everyone's labeling as a larper is Kaisen. I think he made like one mistake in a clip with like One Piece or something like that, and you know how the One Piece fandom gets. Bro was getting dragged. And the fact that he said he enjoyed Death Note, which the anime fandom did not believe him on. Like, genuinely, if I came on this screen and said one wrong thing about anime, I would get absolutely dunked on in the comments. But genuinely, I will say there's a lot of people who just make authentic mistakes. But I will speak to the fact that there are some genuine anime larpers out there. You know, I'm not gonna lie, pre-2020, I wanna say pre-2018, if you liked anime, you were cooked. I don't know what it was like for you guys growing up, but growing up, bro, all the anime kids were called weird. You couldn't like anime at all. I don't know about you guys, but I was super undercover with it. Nobody knew, bruh. Then all of a sudden 2020 hits and we officially become part of the great shift. All of a sudden anime starts to go super mainstream and then everybody likes it. But yeah, these fandoms will absolutely cook you though. Up next we have the Kakegurui Masho meme, which this one was some of the most egregious content that was ever put out on TikTok. Essentially, if you know about this show called Kakegurui, it's one of the most insanely freaked out shows that isn't technically freaked out, but it just has stupid scenes in it ever to be produced on Netflix and become trending on TikTok. Because some of these voice lines just outrageous. I've seen this show and it was just like, why even put half the stuff in here? Like, gambling is not that serious. And like, I'm not even a person who gambles, but seeing some of these Kakegurui Masho videos hurts my soul. And when I made the video on this, people were talking about Kakegurui was my first anime. I'm like, that is not a good place to start, bro, Chacho. These Kakegurui Masho videos really had people putting pillows inside their t-shirts. Talking about finishing the exam at the last minute. You feel exactly like this. Like, no, we do not feel like this. Just you, bro, Chacho. And then a couple years before this, there was some super mainstream trend where people just said Parka and copying a bunch of the Kakegurui voice lines. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, this show in particular backset anime a couple hundred years, bro. Like, and this was just straight outrageous, honestly. And of course, I can't finish this video without talking about the My Hero Academia fandom, because they are some of the most outrageous fandoms for producing the most insane content. I don't even know if I can talk about it on here. Like, the stories I've heard, outrageous. However, I can talk about this one guy who keeps making these satirical videos on Deku and Bakugo. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this guy is super funny, but genuinely, I am worried for this fan base. And spoiler alert, the ending was just stupid as well. I don't know why bro ended up working at McDonald's at the end, but whatever. Last but not least, we have to talk about the legendary AniTok. Arguably the golden era of anime on TikTok. Every single fandom was getting slandered in this. Your fandom was not safe. I mean, Vigilea has kind of like re-empowered a lot of these clips, but essentially it's like solo leveling, run, there's good writing behind you, mid-piece, and then everybody making the big three fandoms beef, wake up to reality as Goku solos your verse, and oh my goodness, the power scaling people were just outrageous at the time. Like, if you dare to say that Goku is weaker than some character, or misscale somebody, you're actually gonna get destroyed, because I kid you not, back in that era, you'd see whole paragraphs of people just arguing over these characters, talking about his feats are this, his feats are better than his feats. If you calculate this with 1.0000567, this, then he's traveling at the speed of this, which makes him faster than him, which scales him to outer or whatever. And I'm like, this is way more outrageous than I ever thought it was gonna be. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the anime trends being absolutely outrageous. Because honestly, this is just crazy. I don't even know how we go away with some of these videos, bruh. But let me know what you guys think about the anime community and how some of these anime trends were definitely out of hand. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to follow me on my other socials, Instagram and TikTok at Hyperstrides. Together the best, and see ya.